Hello, my name is Heather Hara, and in this video, I'm going to do a quick breakdown of the first three Yoga Sutras of Patanjali. The first three Yoga Sutras actually identify the reason why we practice and essentially our goal or our primary purpose for practice. The sutras are such a beautifully rich text, but the whole practice really is summarized in these first three sutras. Sutra can mean seed or thread, but think of it as like a seed that we plant in the garden of the mind that we're meant to water with practice in time. Okay. So the very first Yoga Sutra is Atta Yoga Anusasana. This means, and now we begin, or and now the exposition of yoga is being made. This sutra really is teaching us that we can, one, be a student in any given moment. This word atta, and now, really is a teaching of presence. The present moment is our practice constantly. Okay. If we can exist in the present moment and meet ourselves there and meet whatever is there with us in the moment, we suffer far less if we are fully connected and present to what's going on. I did another video about Sutra 1.1 that goes into a little bit more depth. You should check it out. It's really good. But that first sutra, and now we begin. We're always a student. We're always beginning again, and we are always practicing in the moment. Okay, so Sutra 1.1, Atta Yoga Anusasana. The second Yoga Sutra, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha. Yoga stops the turning of the mind. You can say it in so many ways. Yoga stops the fluctuations of the mind stuff. Yoga stops the perversion of the mind. These vrittis, yoga stops the turning, vritti. Turnings are, you can consider them, they are their thoughts, but they're really thoughts that pull us out of the present moment. Think of it as a ripple in a still pond, and we're aiming for stillness. We turn in all kinds of ways. We turn by comparing ourselves to the norm, the standard. We turn because of boredom. We turn because of laziness. We turn because of stress. We turn because of triggers. There's all kinds of reasons that the mind fluctuates, and we know that because we feel that. If you're watching this, I'm assuming you're an adult, so you know when your mind is of an unclear quality, or like I say, muddy water, right? It's much harder to see through muddy water than clear. So the way I usually teach the second Yoga Sutra, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha, is I have to have you understand how the mind turns, right? Think of what you obsess about, what pulls you away from really experiencing a moment. That's a vritti, right? And then there's this word chitta. Chitta is your heart mind. So at the core of each of us, there is a light that just shines. This is Purusha. Purusha. This light cannot be dimmed. It is our awakening, our awareness. It just shines light. It is the seer, essentially. Okay, it's what sees, what gives us the ability to see. And then in front of that light that shines, our awareness, our life, it is the chitta. And the chitta is the heart mind. Now, where the Purusha just shines, that's all it does, right? It makes us aware. Um, the chitta, the chitta is like, think of it as wearing glasses, or I like to teach it as a windshield on your car. Your windshield doesn't stay clean as you drive through life, right? It collects pollen and bugs and dirt and debris. And the longer we go without cleaning the lens through which we see, the dirtier it becomes. So we are no longer seeing purely, but we're seeing through a very dirtied lens. Now, what does the chitta collect? It collects everything good and bad. All of your lived experiences house themselves on your chitta. So this Yoga Sutra, Yoga's Chitta Vritti Nirodha, yoga stops the turning of the mind, which colors the chitta, so that we can get to Nirodha, more of those calm waters I was talking about. So the first Yoga Sutra says, and now we begin. The second Yoga Sutra is really our practice in essence. We're trying to still the waters of the mind. We're trying to garden the weeds out of the mind so that we can be clear, be present, be grounded in any given moment and experience it to study. The first Yoga Sutra we're beginning. The second Yoga Sutra is our practice. The third Yoga Sutra, Tada Drashtu Swarupe Vashtanam. And then the seer resides in their own true nature. That is really what we aim to do. So we begin, we practice so that we can, like Ram Dass says, come home. The yogis teach that there is a place inside of us that does not suffer and that is already free, knows unconditionally, loves. And chances are you've felt this place inside of you several times throughout your life, but because we're human, because our mind turns and fluctuates and our chitta becomes colored, it's so hard to stay in that pureness of our true self, of our real nature. And so we practice. And it's so beautiful. It's definitely not one of those one and done kind of games. I always really appreciated that about yoga. It's incredibly honest. So we begin, we practice, we come home, and we begin again over and over throughout the entirety of our life, little by little, collecting more wisdom to unwind those karmic knots each of us holds. I'll do another video for that later. I hope this gave you a look into a new perspective on these first three sutras and maybe your entire practice as a yogi, because it's so much than just the postures, even though the postures are such a beautiful piece. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please subscribe to my channel so that we can have more of these. And I hope to see you again soon. Thank you so much.